guys. Well, let's get right to it. It's 15 years since your last full-length release, 2008's Beyond Colossal. And obviously now you've got the brand new record coming out, Drifting in the Endless Void. It comes out in just 10 days, April 21st on Blues Funeral Recordings. And both John and myself, guys, we've been very fortunate to have heard the record. And I'll just say to anyone listening right now, get ready to feast on this gem of a record. It's well worth the wait. When I first heard the first track, Mutation Transformation, I just knew after the first couple of measures of that song that this was going to be a special record. So, guys, I guess the first question I have is, what most fans of the band...
Why did it take so long?
Why did it take so long? You knew it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You read my mind. So, all right, Fredrik, you start us out, man. Go for it. Why did it take so long?
I really don't know, but I know why we might begin.
Okay, yeah. Why did you guys come back after 15 years?
Well, I don't know. The time felt right a little bit. COVID happened, and I don't know. We got bored. I don't know.
Just felt right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Re-releases, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure those count. I don't count them because there was no effort really to put them out. So
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we did a bunch of festival shows. We did a bunch of festival shows. What
was your thoughts on how things kind of got rebooted?
I don't know. I think me and Fredrik actually have talked about it for at least, I don't know, 5-6 years.
Yeah. And then
it took some time, and then it took some time, and then COVID happened, and then it was okay. Greenleaf is not going on tour. We don't have any shows, so let's do this. Let's try to write 1 or 2 songs, and let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Greenleaf put out a record, and then COVID happened, and then I guess you were supposed to be touring actually during that time, and I think it's not a lot of crap going on here, so maybe then he just sent a text to everyone. What do you say, guys? Do you want to try this? Because it's not an easy question, because there's a lot of it takes a lot of effort to put out a record. It's just let's do it. No, but it takes 2 years approximately, so it's not an easy yes and no question. So I just asked the guys if they want to do it, and they wanted to do it, and so everyone was happy.
All right.
Yeah, but we decided at first to write a couple of songs. You remember that? Yeah.
We just get together and see what happened. So because it's been a long time since we did anything. So
yes. So how was that when you guys first got together and started jamming and writing again? Did you guys click instantly like it was yesterday, or did it take some time to kind of get back into the groove to, where you left off before the band went on hiatus?
Well, it kind of it didn't say click and then off we went, because at first we really didn't have a sense of direction where we were going.
Okay.
But I made, during that whole process, I made some home demos, and once of those home demos worked, I think we felt like we had like a thread we could keep going.
Right.
So, because we had a sense of direction after that one. It was missing 13 if anyone asks the questions, but yeah.
Okay.
After that one, it was like felt like we had something going. It felt like we could get a full length going here.
Well, first off, I want to tell you guys, it's an incredibly good album. It's going to be on many people's end of the year list. I'm forecasting that now. It's firmly in my early list, which, we're talking about end of the year list now. But it's that strong. Just like Tommi's last album, Greenleaf, which finished my top 3 for the year. And I'm going to parlay all that great stuff into the writing process. And how is this different for you, Tommi, being that you're probably how much are you involved with the Greenleaf writing and structuring versus Dozer?
It's we kind of write the same way with both bands, with Greenleaf and Dozer. One guy comes with a riff, and then we just jam on it together until it, turns into a song. That's pretty much how we do it most of the time. Okay, this time around, Fredrik had more home demos that he came with. It was complete songs, but we mostly, I think we used like bits and pieces from your songs, and then we turned it into something else, and we, worked on things that way.
They were more like tinder, so to speak, like not actual wood pieces, like
right,
tiny.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere, right?
Something. Yeah,
you got to start somewhere. For some of us who aren't musicians, this stuff is fascinating. That you folks who are so artistic are able to kind of put this together and collaborate and have this vision. So it's amazing. And Tommi, you're, for me, for bang for the buck, one of the best guitarists out there on just really the riffs and the ability to make things sound good, your tone. I mean, it's not for this interview that I'm saying this. I've said this over and over online and in shows. I really admire your style, Tommi. You're the man.
Cool. Thank you very much.
and Fredrik, it's so good to hear you singing and screaming again. What were you doing, Fredrik, during this time where Dozer was kind of dormant? What were you doing musically during this time? Anything?
Well, we had a couple of gigs, like 1 or 2 each year, starting from 2014. I think was it 2014?
13. I think we did Hellfest 2013.
So kind of had to keep the machinery a little bit going, and then I formed a hobby band on the side as well, Ambassadors of the Sun, and that went on for a couple of years as well. But
what was the name of the band?
Sorry, Ambassadors of the Sun. It's called.
Okay.
Yeah,
they have released an album, so
we have
check it out.
Have an album. So.
Yeah, make sure.
So, Tommi, question for you real quick. I mean, now going back to doing Dozer stuff, obviously song structure-wise, obviously much different. Less jamming, less freelancing, more structured with Dozer, obviously, than with Greenleaf. Is it difficult for you to sort of limit yourself more now with Dozer because you're so used to kind of just doing your own thing with Greenleaf? Was it difficult sort of getting back into that mentality? Okay, go for it.
Not at all.
No, okay.
It actually felt good to have another guitar player there because I've been playing just one guitar with Greenleaf for since 2013 or something.
Mm.
And then finally having Fredrik there again playing guitar, that felt you can. It's two different disturbing shit. No, it's two Greenleaf and those are two different things in that way. But I could really feel that with 2 guitars you can make it even heavier. Mm-hmm. So that felt good. And working with Fredrik it's always been easy. We come along just fine. We've been friends since we were kids. So
I have a very feminine guitar, but yeah.
Very cool. Nice.
How old were you all when you first started Dozer?
We started Dozer in 95, so 20.
20, around 20.
But me and Fredrik, we played for a couple of years before that.
Yeah, just playing around. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to figure out what we wanted to do.
We were 17, 18 or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, very cool. Well, one of the greatest things too about seeing you guys now, the band, back together after so long is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, I mean, Dozer is one of the godfathers of the stoner rock genre. I mean, you guys were doing this way before, all these bands are doing it now. And this music was very underground. Now obviously it's grown so much, this scene. It is obviously, compared to when you guys were starting out, it's night and day. I mean, you've got festivals all over the world now. It's really such a global scene everywhere. And so, I mean, for you guys now, I mean, over the years, as you're watching the scene grow and grow, obviously, Tommi, being a part of it with Greenleaf too, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, it's so much more bigger now than it was than when you guys were really at the forefront. I mean, have you guys ever sat there and said to yourselves, like, well, shit, we're one of the ones that were doing this, in the beginning, and now the scene's starting to take off. Maybe it's time for us to. Did that factor into maybe the decision to get back together? It's like, well, we're one of the godfathers here. We need to come back together, and people need to know who we are, especially the younger and newer fans of this music, because, like I said, you guys were one of the OGs, as they say. I mean, did that ever kind of cross your mind to, and influence your decision to get back together? Did it have anything to do with that, or not at all? Because, I mean, like I said, all these years later, Dozer being one of the bands to start this genre, it's only, I think, appropriate that you guys are now here now doing it again and showing all the newer fans, like, hey, we're one of the originators of this sound and music.
I think
you want to answer, Tommi?
Yeah, I think I have a good answer for this, because like you said, when we started touring, it wasn't the same thing that it is nowadays, the whole stoner rock scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think, all the festivals, especially in Europe, all the Desert Fests and Up in Smoke and whatever festivals we have here have made it, especially Desert Fest, have made it bigger. The whole scene has grown a lot here compared to the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when it got bigger, we started to get offers for Dozer we played. Did we play Desert Fest in 2014 or 13 or? I think that
14.
I think after those shows, because it was big crowds and it felt good, and I think after every festival show we talked about, should we maybe start making new music again? And then families, other bands, and work, and it never really happened until COVID.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really amazing what Reese T has done with Desert Fest. That's a story in its own right, because I interviewed him along with Billy Goat on Doomed and Stoned, and I think Billy and I were both like blown away when we found out how many people were going to the one in London. I mean, it was in the thousands, and it was like, oh my God. Because, in the States, we're a whole different animal here, particularly over this last 10 years. Stoner rock has gotten bigger here, but
ever since it became legal,
here is hip hop and rap in America. Like it's almost like a brainwashing. It's like everything, and then some country. But we've kicked it in pretty good with some festivals now. Psycho Vegas has been a big one, which I'm surprised you guys never got over here for that one. They canceled this year for the first time, and now Desert Fest is in New York, and we'll say exploring some other stuff as well. So it's interesting what's happening over here. But let's go back to your roots, man. What bands really kind of led you into the style that you're in now back in the day?
The first stoner rock album I heard was Super Judge with Monster Magnet.
Okay.
And after that, of course it was Kais right after that.
Yeah.
That's when me and Fredrik figured out that, okay, you can tune down your guitars and it sounds heavier. And that's pretty much when we started Dozer. When we tuned down the guitars, we were like, okay, this is a new band now.
That's when the sound formed a little bit.
Yeah.
Fu Manchu as well.
Oh yeah. Now
in Search of with Fu Manchu, that's the
oh god, yeah.
Was a big influence for us.
Did you ever listen to Sabbath?
to?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Before or after Monster Magnet? Before or after?
Before.
Okay.
Before.
Well, before.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is we only get what's fed to us or available to us. We don't all have brothers and sisters and all that. So there's an interesting order at times. We're finding a lot of people that are getting into this kind of music having a clue that this even exists. And so it really makes things interesting along the way. Sometimes people go in reverse order and they find out about Black Sabbath after listening to this stuff. It's really odd. What would be a song, one for each of you, that you wish you had written?
That's
now.
Any song that was written, that's been done, but you wish you were the one that wrote it.
Oh, okay. You want to?
Depends.
You want to write a song, Tommy?
It depends on maybe if I want to be a millionaire, if I wanted to be a millionaire, or if I just want to be a good songwriter. Let's see.
That's a tough one, I'm sure.
Maybe, yeah, it is. I know I got this question before, and then I answered While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would be, I wish I wrote that song.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Only one?
Well, you can throw a few out there, Fredrik.
I'm sweating. Well, I wish I wrote Across the Universe, for instance.
Okay.
I wish I wrote that one.
So pretty much you and me wish we wrote the whole Beatles catalog, and we would be millionaires, billionaires.
Yeah. Across the Universe, I would have liked to written that one. But more contemporary 90s. I'm still very much into the 90s. So 4th of July with Soundgarden would have been nice.
Oh,
yeah,
Rusty Cage.
Yeah. But before there were Dozer, we were in the rehearsal place, me and Tommy and this other guy called Magnus, and one of the songs we actually played was a Danzig song.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Dirty
Which
Black
one?
Summer. So,
Dirty Black Summer. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we took turns singing.
Guitar.
Yeah,
Dude,
we took turns singing.
Oh wow!
You didn't, Fredrik, and you never sang before, and we just tried. I tried singing it, and Fredrik sang it, and I don't remember if Magnus sang, but then I was. Yeah, we pretty quickly found out that Fredrik should sing. Fredrik is the singer in the band.
Magnus actually sang some, but we started laughing because he sounded like a wounded animal. I still remember that one. It sounded like a moose that had been shot. But yeah.
I haven't heard a moose that's been shot, but in Sweden, do you have moose nearby?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. There is moose just outside of my window. I live on the countryside, so there's animals everywhere here.
Moose and deer everywhere.
I live in Las Vegas, where we got
there's no moose.
No moose for you.
Scorpions is no moose, right?
Coyote.
I've yet to see a scorpion, but I did see coyotes quite frequently when I lived over in the suburbs. Little packs of like 3 or 4 at a time. Yeah.
Mountain lions, maybe.
You know what? There are mountain lions around, but I'm literally in the city now. So the only animals I see are the people that are in town partying or occasionally bunny rabbits.
Or cougars, maybe. The human kind.
Oh, yeah, the cougars. A lot of those.
Different variation of cougar, if you know what I mean. It's fascinating you guys brought up 90s because Matt and I talk about this a lot, that we're seeing more and more this kind of melding and continuation of 90s influence on the stoner and heavy rock scene, you know, where it's not everything is the stereotype, which is a bad stereotype, honestly, not even an honest stereotype anymore, that all stoner rock is Black Sabbath or Sleep or whatever, or Caius. It's way more varied than that. But when you talk about bands like Soundgarden or Alice in Chains, or heck, even Danzig, to some degree, it's still authentic, not overproduced, guitar-based rock with songs.
I'm not sure that a lot of people think about this, but when I hear Caius, I hear a lot of Danzig.
Interesting.
Listen to how John sings. He sounds a lot like he sounds like a cross between Danzig and what's the guy?
Ian Astbury.
Ian Astbury.
Oh,
yeah, you can see that.
You say that, because that is, without a doubt, one of his favorite singers.
Yeah,
he's a massive fan of Colt. I'm very fortunate to get to know John over the years. Done a bunch of shows for me, and that's one of the first names that'll come out of his mouth when it comes to people he's really revered, along with even Jim Morrison, believe it or not. It doesn't necessarily mean he's trying to sing like that, but that's interesting. Danzig and do you guys like the Colt?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which album's your favorite?
I only know the album cover, I think.
That's a big one, right? Yeah.
For me, it's Electric. It's just riff-filled, Rick Rubin produced, you know, Peace Dog and Love Removal Machine and all that. Just it's a party right there for sure.
Hell yeah. So guys, now for the band, I mean, what goals do you guys have at this point in time, if any? I mean, I know if Tommy, you were telling us, you know, before we came on here, obviously you guys have families, you know, you can't go out on those long tours anymore. Is Dozer, I mean, you guys now, are you back full time? Are you going to just, you know, maybe continue to make, you know, music going forward? Are you going to do, obviously you got festivals lined up and everything coming up, but I mean, is this something that you know, I guess, are you just kind of waiting to see what happens and just kind of play it by ear? Or do you guys really intend to kind of stick this out and continue to maybe put out a record every so often and at least, you know, do festivals every year or so?
Yeah, for me, as long as it feels good and feels fun, why not? At the moment, I don't think we haven't planned anything. Just to make these shows that we have this booked for this year, and then we see what happens. I know there's a whole bunch of song ideas still that we haven't finished, so there's let's see after this year.
As well, we always want to start fresh. So,
yeah.
That's a little bit, and that's how we did it this time as well. So we always want to start fresh, even though we have like a bunch of old songs. It feels like we want to start on a new branch, so to speak.
Yeah,
because that's a little bit how we do it. And we take it a little bit like it comes, but full time. What is full time for us now? I don't know, because since we all and you know, we've decided to not go on tours because we can't, and just shorter tours, and that's how we've decided. And right now we've got a lot of gigs this year. A lot of, I don't know, is this live to the internet?
No, it's not live. So,
I don't know how much I can announce, but yeah, we have a lot of shows and more shows that aren't announced yet. So so we've got a lot of stuff going on this year.
Yeah,
and you never know what happens next year.
True. Yeah, take it by. Did you guys sit there when you got together and you started playing music and you started writing these songs and you putting this album together? Did it ever occur to you, like, man, why did we wait so long and we should have maybe done this a little earlier? Or is it, well, we're glad we waited this long because, as you just said, you like to start fresh, and it was, I guess, a good thing for you guys to take a long hiatus. I mean, So did you wish you would have started earlier, or are you happy with waiting as long as you did to put out the new record?
No.
Yeah, that's a. I think the timing was just perfect now.
Okay.
Because before that I've been really busy with Greenleaf and
I was gonna say Greenleaf has really come into its own, and I feel a little bit more song structure as well. Wouldn't you say, Tommy? And you've gone through a lot of singers with Greenleaf over time. Heck, even Fredrik sang some on some Greenleaf early on. And I mean, these albums you put out with Greenleaf are, to me, they're the kind of stuff that more people should hear. And when they hear it, or if they hear it, they're like, wow. The kind of thing I think should be on American radio, quite frankly. And I think there's some Dozer stuff as well. I think that we're just stuck in the rut over here a little bit, but there's such good stuff coming out of Greenleaf that it's like you're one of the best bands in the world right now, in my opinion. But I think most people who follow stoner rock or heavy rock even kind of feel like it's just professionally done. It's always awesome riffs. You got great vocalist, great production. Good God. And you got great drums.
Oh yeah.
Which you now brought over Sebastian to help with Dozer, right?
Yeah. Sebastian is now a member of Dozer as well. So
what a sound he brings. What a monstrous, like, when I sometimes will send a song over to friends of mine who are drummers sometimes just to try to get them into these kind of music. And that's the thing they'll bring up pretty quick, is hearing that tone along the way. Yeah. Who did you have produce this album?
Carl Daniel. The same guy have recorded the past, 5 Greenleaf album as well.
Yeah.
And it helps that he's a drummer as well. He was the drummer on Through the Eyes of Heathens. He was in Dozer for a while as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, he became a sound technician, started recording albums, and that's why the drum sound is so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys have had now a different drummer, I believe, on the last 4 records, I believe, correct? I mean, that's what's amazing. If you listen to each record, Dozer record, the drums are so good, you wouldn't think that those are different players on each record, but you have a different drummer, I noticed, on each of the last 4 records. Yet, does Sweden just have like this school of drumming for something? Because there's amazing drummers that are just coming out of there. You guys have had on the last, like you said, 4 records. So
yeah, there's an abundance of drummers.
Yeah,
here in Sweden.
Must be. Yeah.
No.
Oh, there's not. Okay,
no.
I was going to say. Oh,
no,
wow.
not at all.
Yeah, you got an abundance of. How many people live in Sweden? Just for people American, that don't realize, like, how big is Sweden?
Is it 10 million?
Wow.
Somewhere around there.
And so,
how big is it?
And it's funny because and Matt used to live in Los Angeles, and they probably got like 20 million in just this in the Los Angeles area, Matt. Right, like 15, 20 million in that area alone. It's insane.
Yeah,
and it's just fascinating how much good music comes out of Sweden. It's insanity, quite frankly. For bands like Graveyard, which we haven't heard from in a while, but and Jeremy Irons and the Wrecking Malibus, and we could just go on and on and on. And what are some of your favorite current bands that you all like or listen to or have recently found out about?
If we're talking about stoner rock, for me it's Lomosa.
Oh yeah,
Norwegian band.
Norwegian, yep. No about
them. Yep. They write. I think the music is. Yeah, it's classic stoner rock. but it's a little bit more melodic and the vocals a little bit different, and yeah.
It is.
And they're fun to drink beer. They're fun guys and girl to drink beer with. So
very nice. Yeah.
That's right. They're from Norway, which has an excellent scene, a really growing scene. Also, I mean, gosh, a band I helped get over to Ripple, Wolfnot, and they got a new album coming out. They're from there, and I think they're probably a cool one if you haven't checked out before. And Sweden, a really good young band that's just amazing. And the guy's got pipes. It's a band called Tidal Wave. Check them out if you haven't. And Fredrik, you got to check this guy out. These guys are young. Like they're in their 20s. And man's got pipes and they bring the riffs. It gives, for us as fans, we love hearing good stuff from our lifelong bands like Dozer and Greenleaf and, Queen's Stone Age or whoever. But we also know the bloodline's got to continue. And so new bands like Slow Mosa and Tidal Wave, that's thank God for them. And we gotta help them out along the way. Fredrik, what about you, man? Do you listen to rock and roll at all? Are you more listen to symphonies and opera, or what's going on?
Well, I always, I don't know, we call it snow in. We were like ultra focused on one artist at the same time. And right now it's Chris Stapleton for some reason.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little bit focused on.
Yeah.
A little bit far-fetched from Stoner Rock, I know, but yeah.
But he's got a little rock. He's got some rock tinge.
He can. Yeah, he's got a really. He can sing like old school rock and roll. Actually, I think he can sing pretty much anything. But because it's just something about his tone. I like it a lot. He can sing pretty much whatever. And
yeah. In America, during this like 10 year or so of weirdness, music wise, country has kind of elevated itself with a little more rock to it. So it's made it interesting. They even have guitar solos and stuff, Tommy. If you go back way back in time, that's sure that,
But the thing is also with Chris Stapleton, he's got I think he's called In the Room or something, that album is called. And it's some of the songs are just him and the guitar. He just sit there and plays, kind of like singer-songwriter. And it's, those songs are, those are the songs that I really like. Really.
Yeah.
Then you can hear how good he is.
And Fredrik, are you the principal lyric writer?
Lyrics? Yeah. I think I wrote all of the lyrics to this one.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think I did because because
I think you have written everything
at home. That's why pretty much.
Sometimes
previously you pitched in.
But after Call Conspiracy, I haven't written a word. It's not my thing. because
Right.
yeah, kind of.
Well,
No, it's
speaking
not
of
my
your
thing
thing, speaking of your thing, Tommy, I mean, as I praised your guitar playing earlier, who are your early influences, guitarist wise?
Yeah, it's a simple answer. Ace Frehley.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's I think for me, music started with Kiss
Okay.
when I was like 8, 9 years old.
Mm.
Now
And
you're
then
making
after
me wonder
that,
how old you are. Like,
Fredrik is older than I am, but
Well, he's got more white on his beard. Yeah, absolutely.
but he's only a month,
or-
month
Yeah,
month and a
about a
half
month,
older than
yeah.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I'll turn 48 in May.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So,
Ace
but
Frehley.
anyways, yeah. So guitar wise, yeah, of course, there's all those, yeah, Jimmy Page and Tony Iommi and all those. But Ace Frehley is the one that, yeah, made me want to play guitar and I still steal old Kiss riffs and
That early
And then-
kid is just a whole different world. I don't
Yeah.
think people realize if you really dig in to the 70s Kiss, it was just great, hard, heavy rock. And Ace Frehley was the reason for it.
Yeah.
Really.
Now, when you guys were writing for this record, did anything change in terms of this, like what you normally would do in the past? As you were saying, I know, Fredrik, you did most of the lyrics. Was there anything different musically that you guys did differently, like in terms of, I mean, traditionally how you used to write compared to maybe how it's done now, or was it pretty much the same thing?
I think the only different thing, Fredrik, this time was that you wrote a lot more. You came with a lot more ideas. I don't know how many demos I got from you before we started.
I think it was around 40 actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
But sometimes they were just ideas. It
Right,
was
was
pretty much
ideas.
like, yeah, like I said, Tinder, just to start something like, oh, this could be a part of that song or this and so on, and just something to build upon.
Okay.
Because I can come up with like a complete song at home, no problem. But will it work when everyone's around and playing their instruments? Sometimes it doesn't, actually, is the answer.
Sure.
because Dozer is very much groove oriented. I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The drums are extremely central. Because if they're not rocking, the band's not rocking. I don't know what the hell that was, but it won't work. It's just not the guitarist. It's also the cooperation between the drums and the
Sure.
the drums and the guitars.
And that's one of the reasons why I stopped writing whole songs at home.
Yeah.
Because you get an idea in your head, you have a whole song in your head, and you come to the rehearsal room. Sounds nothing like this sucks. My idea in my head was a lot better. But now it's just bring a riff and then let's see what happens.
The first
Bring it
ideas I had was like, I think I made 5 ideas or something, and they all had drums and bass play, like everything, but it doesn't matter. If it's not working, or if the drummer has to play something that he's not like excited about, you will know. And that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of work do you guys do?
What?
Yeah,
Well, I went back to school in 2008, and that's one of the reasons why the hiatus came. So I'm a mechanical engineer, and I work in Hitachi Energy.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Power distribution, you could say.
You have an analytical brain, huh?
Yeah.
Just a little, huh?
You're an engineer.
my brain halves are both in the imagination world and the reality world. So it's I don't know.
Interesting.
Kind of
Very cool.
Kind of split.
Very cool. Well, guys, once again, I know you've got, a lot of dates lined up in Europe. You're going to be, like I said, you're going to be at the London and Berlin Desert Fest, as well as Hellfest in France. Just a whole bunch of festival dates I know you got going over the summer. Are you guys just going to do the festivals right now? Well, Tommy, you were telling us before we came on here that you guys definitely want to get over to the States eventually for at least a handful of shows. So are you going to plan to maybe do little pockets, like tour pockets in parts of parts of Europe and then go over here? I mean, what's the plan, I guess, if you have any idea, what's the plan when it comes to the touring piece? So you're just going to kind of same thing, play it by ear, or are you just going to do the festivals? Just kind of fill everyone in, I guess, on what you got planned for live shows.
We have talked about doing a US tour next year. So, but not a longer tour. I don't know what we have talked about, like 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah. What do you think, Fredrik?
Yeah, 10 dates. We've said 10 dates. Come over to do 10 dates.
Vegas,
all right,
maybe Vegas.
Yeah, well, you got to link up with John right there in Vegas. Exactly. He'll with
so
the Planet
where
Desert
it happens, or
that's one of the places.
What's
where
that?
Yeah. Oh, you say, is that where it happens? And I said, that's definitely one of the places.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be a good starting point, we'll say, because we're nearby Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco's not too far away, and Phoenix, and West Coast is a whole different world. You guys have been over to the States, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, 2004.
Oh wow! So it's been a while though. Been a long time.
I think we did.
Yeah.
We did like 14 shows in the US and 2 in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, what kind of work do you do? Are you all music?
No, construction. A lot of concrete stuff.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up every day at 5 a.m. and go to work.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's just very cool. Very cool, guys. Once again, ladies and gents, Dozer is back. They do an album, Drifting in the Endless Void. It's out April 21st on Blues Funeral Recordings. And guys, just go ahead and let our viewers and listeners know where they can, keep up with all the happenings with Dozer and anything that's going on in the future. Where should we send the listeners and viewers?
Spotify. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. And remember, there's a lot of fake Dozers on Spotify. So,
okay,
yeah.
What's the official then handle for Dozer on
that's a good
other ones?
question.
Well, the best way is to look up a specific Dozer song, and then you'll be able to go into the band, and then you can follow them or from there, because it is tricky, man. There's probably a rapper named Dozer.
Search for the album.
Right there, Drifting in the Endless Void. Look for that, everybody. Check it out. It's a great new record. Everyone needs to go ahead and listen to it. And so, guys, thanks so much for coming on. Anything else you want to let anyone else know out there before we wrap this up?
Listen to the album.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's good. Good advice. Listen to the album. You're gonna love it.
Listen to the album. We worked. Listen to the album. If you like it, buy it. We worked really hard on this.
Yeah. If you like it, listen to it twice.
And if you like it, listen to it twice.
Yeah.
We are proud. We are proud of it. So hopefully you guys will like it.
Oh, they will. There's no doubt.
We're really proud of it.
No doubt.
As you should be. It's a great record. All right. Once again, everybody, Drifting in the Endless Void, Dozer, out April 21st, Blues Funeral Recordings. And guys, thanks so much again for coming on there. Joining me and John here on Heavy Galaxy Show. And good luck with everything. We hope we see you in the States next year sometime. We'd love to obviously check you guys up. Absolutely.
We'd love to come.
Absolutely. Well, talk to John. There's your man. He'll get you there.
Thank you all so much for coming on with us. And we can't wait to unleash this to everyone. And again, folks that are listening that have not heard the album yet, this is going to be an album you will put, for you folks to do this, on your end of the year list. Mark it down. It has all the makings of what you want. It's got stuff that sticks in your brain. It pounds away. It's got riffs, and it's got soaring vocals for Fredrik. It's great to hear Fredrik back out there singing his own little style and then giving it the real emotional push at times as well. He's got some cool vocal effects I noticed here and there. It's just great stuff, guys. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.